Live now. Okay, I'm still trying to get all this straightened out. I got all these screens I gotta watch, so I can just keep track of, because all the comments come from several different places, mostly from TikTok. And let's see, I gotta have TikTok on its own screen, and then I can't see everything else. So I'm just getting my housekeeping in order here. The way this all works is kind of a mess. I'm not even signed in on that site. Well, I'm not going to bother with that site because nobody ever shows up from there anyway. Now, where's my TikTok? I've lost my TikTok. Oh, this is no good. I don't want this here. I got this app open that takes up like so much memory. Okay, so, oh, here we go. Is this my, all right. I think I'm kind of all set here. Let's see, I'm going to start off with a song, of course, because, you know, I'm basically here to do original songs. So I'm going to start off with this one. A child's birthday is a party with their friends. Mine feels like a countdown to the end. I look back on the distance I have come. There are doors I still want to open up. My body's past its prime, but mostly working fine, and I've still got time to hunt treasure. It's easy to believe that I'm too old to dream. I'm young enough to know better. The clock is ticking till the day it's not. While I'm kicking, I'll give it all I've got. My plans maybe aren't meant to be, but a ray of hope is just enough for me. My body's past its prime, but mostly working fine, and I've still got time to hunt treasure. It's easy to believe that I'm too old to dream, but I'm young enough to know better. When all is done and I'm laid to rest, I'll be at peace if I've done my best. I'm on a quest, hey Pizza Rat. My body's past its prime, but mostly working fine, and I've still got time to hunt treasure. It's easy to believe that I'm too old to dream, but I'm young enough to know better. It's easy to believe that I'm too old to dream, but I'm young enough to know better. I'm young enough to know better. I'm young enough to know better. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's see, I'm streaming from a different app. You know, there are several apps I can stream from, and I don't know if I get different results based on which app I'm using. Thank you. Oh, you're amazing. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, thank you for the follow. You know, two people asked me that. Did I play basketball in college? I don't know why. No, two people last time asked me if I played basketball in high school, and I'm wondering why people are asking me this, unless they've, have you been watching my my videos that I've been posting on my profile? Because I've been telling kind of my life story. Oh, thank you for the share. Everybody please share the live. You have. So now if, I don't know if you saw my recent video where I quit the basketball. I quit basketball in high school after my sophomore year. Junior year, I remember all the guys on the team were surprised. You're not trying out for ball this year, but I told the story. The sophomore year wasn't good, and I didn't want to play. The varsity coach was this guy. No, I didn't, because the varsity coach was this guy who just used to yell at players all the time. And one of the things I didn't talk about in the video, I talked about the team was so poorly run, and this guy had this offense that he wanted us to run, and it was really complicated. And I don't think any of the players really felt comfortable with it, but he had us trying to run the same offense for 2 years. And this was coming from the varsity coach, even though he wasn't, we had a different guy coaching the freshman team and the JV team. But he insisted we run this offense for 2 years, and nobody ever felt comfortable with the offense. And he'd be yelling at us, run the offense, run the offense. And I just didn't want to play for a coach that was yelling at players all the time. I mentioned in my videos that I was abused as a child at home. I got constant emotional abuse, and I just did not want to be in a situation playing for a guy who's going to yell at me all the time. So... But I just posted another video explaining, I was playing sports instead of music. I mean, this whole video series is basically, talking about my musical background, but sports came in there because, I started guitar lessons, but I would just rather play sports all the time, throughout high school. So after I quit the basketball team, I didn't have a sport, but I ended up finding a new one, and that's what the subject of the video I just posted earlier. So, hi everybody. Those who are just joining, I'm Seth Hillary Jackson. I do original songs. I also tell stories, and I can tell stories about the songs, and I love to talk about songwriting also. So, I kind of want to do more talking than playing, because as you know, if you've been following me, I have chronic fatigue. I have long COVID. And I've been struggling all day. I want to go live. I want to go live. I want to go live. And I've been so exhausted. And I'm not even sure it's a good idea to be going live now. I'm hoping to hang in there for 25 minutes. I grew up on the Beatles. I kind of did a video on the Beatles. It wasn't one of my better videos, but it changed my life. When I was, I guess, 9 years old, all of a sudden I started hearing about the Beatles are coming. The Beatles are coming. There were posters all over the place. My brother started telling me about the Beatles are coming. And then I started seeing these posters everywhere. The Beatles are coming. And there was this TV show called The Ed Sullivan Show. It was on every Sunday night. It was a variety show. And like everybody in America watched this show. And that's where the Beatles made their debut. So we watched that show every week, but we were sure to watch it because we kept hearing about the Beatles, the Beatles, the Beatles. And when they went on Ed Sullivan Show, it not only changed my life, it changed like America. I don't know if you are familiar with the phenomenon of Beatlemania, but you've never seen anything like it. It's like the next day. So they did 3 songs. And the first one was their hit song, I Want to Hold Your Hand. And, they had girls screaming and fainting, and it was tearing their hair out in the audience. And then they did the song. I mean, that was like amazing. I'd never heard anything like it. But the song that really got me, and I think got to most people, was She Loves You. Nobody's ever heard anything like that. And then they also did Twist and Shout. And these 3 songs are just amazing. And you can actually, there's videos. You can go on YouTube and look up like the Beatles' debut on Ed Sullivan. And it's so weird because what you're used to today, it's nothing like it. The Beatles were like, they were dressed in suits and they were, very polite, and they were very, very, they didn't move around a lot and everything. But they were just, and they didn't play, like they weren't shredders. Like George Harrison was the lead guitar player. He didn't play fast. But his every note, he played the right note. He was just like so tasteful with his guitar playing. And I don't know, it was just so amazing. And I just used to listen for the Beatles all the time. We'd listen to the radio all the time and wait for the Beatles to come on. And we saw the movies. Have you seen the movies? Have you seen A Hard Day's Night? And actually, A Hard Day's Night was really good, but the movie Help. Have you seen the movie Help? If you haven't seen the movie Help, we had a hard time finding the movie Help. But that movie is hilarious. That is one of the funniest. I didn't realize it. We watched it when I had kids, and we they loved the Beatles, so we had to find this movie, and we watched the movie. I didn't realize as a kid exactly how funny that movie was, but when I watched it as an adult, we were just like roaring with laughter because it was just great. It was just so funny. But yes, I loved the Beatles. What's my opinion on Tom Brady? I'm a Giants fan, although I kind of stopped following football. I think the last time they won the Super Bowl was the last time I really followed. But they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and they stopped them from being undefeated. But it's hard to not believe that Tom Brady was the greatest quarterback who ever lived. Although I don't know, it's possible there are a couple of others like Joe Montana. If you ever saw him, he was kind of, if I remember, similar to Tom Brady. He didn't win as many Super Bowls, but man, he was unreal. I mean, he just kind of like Brady. He was just like cool as a cucumber under pressure. And so let's see. Maybe I should do another song. What do you think? Should I do my latest single? I probably ought to do my latest single. I don't think I did it last time I went live. But I should do my latest single. There's actually, well, my stories that I'm posting online are eventually going to lead up to this song because there's a long story behind it. This was actually the first song I ever wrote. And I wrote it back in 1983. And I was in business school. I was at the Wharton School, which you may have heard of, because a certain former president, apparently according to the certain former president, I'm a genius because I went. That proves that I'm a genius having gone there. But anyway, I was there. My heart was totally not in this. Thanks. My heart was totally not in this business school thing. I went there for all the wrong reasons. And it was my last semester, and it was time for everybody looking for their job. And like every conversation was, how's your job search going? And I finally, after years of wishing I could write a song, my brother convinced me to sit down and actually just write one. I had no idea what I was doing, but I thought, okay, what am I going to write about? So that became the topic. That was the obvious topic. And I just picked a 3-chord progression and a simple groove, and I just started, and I wrote these words, and I recently came across, I actually recorded these songs, my first 3 songs in the studio, which was usually a dumb idea. But I actually came across this recording recently, and I played it from some fellow songwriters, and like, you ought to release that, because, there are people going through that now, and they relate to it, and, it was June, it was just graduation time, it was just after grad, so I released it in June, and it's still my latest single. I have a new one that I'm just about ready to put out there. I packed my bags and I went off to school. It cost a lot of money, but I am no fool, 'cause everybody knows that you need an education to find a good career and wealth accumulation. Now I'm graduating and I'm looking for work. Nobody wants to hire me, I feel like a jerk. I'm looking and I'm searching, all I get is bad news. I'll tell you what it is, I got the job search blues. I show up for the interview, I walk up to the desk. I give my name, receptionist types it in and says, the boss will be here shortly, make yourself at home. Relax and have a seat while I call him on the phone. Instead of getting nervous, the tension, it's a mountain. My palms are getting sweaty and my pulse rate, it's counting. I'm looking for reward, but I'm paying my dues. I'm headed for another round of job search blues. A man comes down the hall, he shakes my hand. I hope he likes my grip, I hope he likes the way I stand. We go up to his office, I sit down in a chair, answer a few questions, then he gives me a stare. He says, I'm sorry, but you're not the one we're looking for. It's been nice meeting you, let me show you to the door. I don't know what went wrong, I'm still looking for clues. Just no escaping from the job search blues. I get back home and there's a letter from me. The envelope said that it's from the company I spoke to last week, and I thought I had a chance, so I opened it up. It said, "Dear applicant, we enjoyed meeting you. Thanks for taking the time to come here and see us. We think that you're fine. It's just that, well, you see, there's a lot of competition, and we've hired someone else to fill the position." I fold the letter up, I add it to the pile with all the other dings I've been saving all the while. I think about my friends who were making 50 grand. I'm a-sitting here without an offer in hand. I guess I should be busy looking through recruiting sites to find some more positions to which I can apply. But something deep inside me says I won't be amused. I expect another dose of the job search blues. Thank you so much, Faith and Kai and Angel and Cole. Thank you so much. And Lila, thank you so much for the gift. I totally appreciate that, and all the shares. I really appreciate everybody sharing my live. I have a question, though, actually. There's a line in this song. So back when I was in business school, everybody looking for jobs, and usually you got rejected, and they'd send you a letter. Usually. And it would be a rejection letter. And we all called that, it was known as a ding letter. So I used that in the song, and I'm wondering if that's still a thing. I said, I fold the letter up and I add it to the pile with all the other dings I've been saving all the while. And I'm wondering if that's an expression people still use, and hopefully you all understand what that means. But that's what we used to say. There are actually a couple of things I had to change in that song. Because, I have this line in the last verse, I should be busy looking through recruiting sites. Well, there were no recruiting sites in 1983. The original line was, I should be busy looking through the classified, which referred to the classified advertisements in physical newspapers. And that was a common place to go for... Oh, well, I hope I can start a new trend. But I hope everybody understood what I meant when I said that, anyway, even if you've never heard it before. So nobody has physical newspapers anymore, so I had to change that line. I update it. And one other line I had to update was the second verse used to say, I show up for the interview, I meet the secretary. But that word has gone out of style. Apparently, it started being heard as, for some reason, it was a sexist word. So now they call it the receptionist. So I had to change that line. I used to like that line because I had what I thought was a clever line. It was kind of an awkward rhyme. It was an awkward rhyme, but I did it on purpose and I liked it. Because, well, it was, I show up for the interview, I meet the secretary. I'm here to see the boss. She says it won't be very long until he gets here. So I have the rhyme in the middle of the sentence, which is, I don't know, sometimes considered bad songwriting, but since it's a funny, silly song, it kind of worked and I really liked it. But security? Well, it was just secretary, secretary or security? But Paul McCartney, that song, when he was putting out his songs a long time ago, and that was the word. People used to use that word. And now they say receptionist or administrative assistant. Nobody says secretary anymore. Although my wife and I have been watching the show Suits on Netflix. Anybody seen that show? And I noticed he used the word secretary in that show. And I don't know how old that show is. It's not that old. But they use the word secretary. But most people don't use it anymore, so I got rid of it. So, I mentioned that I recorded the first 3 songs I ever wrote in the studio, which is usually a bad idea. Most songwriters I know actually hate their first songs. They're ashamed of them. But, that's cool. My sister, one of my nephews has dyslexia, so our nieces or whatever. So we have it in the family. So, I recorded these first 3 songs that I ever wrote, but I was playing my songs at parties. And I was getting really, how good was my jump shot? You saw the videos, right? My jump shot was so good that it made my whole summer, and it made me, I have another video coming up about the next summer. When I was on, I just did not miss. I couldn't even believe it myself. I used to go, how do I do this? And then I would try to, like I said in the first video, sometimes I'd just lose it. I'd just lose the feel and I couldn't shoot. And then I'd get it back. And when I had it, I was always just trying to like observe what I was doing. We didn't have video back then. Maybe if I'd taken video, I could have figured it out. I was just trying to remember how it felt and like, okay, how's my arms lined up? And I try to remember how it went, and it never worked. It would come and go. But it tended to come back when I was feeling really motivated and confident. So I guess that maybe that was the key. Just feel good. I was not, because I don't know if you saw the video I just put out the other day. I played 2 years of basketball in high school, and it didn't go well. My high school basketball team experience didn't go well. And the first year I didn't even have the jump shot. The second year I had it, but the whole environment was really awful. And then I ended up, Andrew, I'm not ignoring you. Hi, Andrew. And the experience was bad. The head coach of the varsity team, he just like yelled at people all the time. And he made us run this offense that nobody... What was the question? I must have missed the question. I'm sorry. There's a lot of comments going. Thanks. But at summer camp, I was the big star. I mean, I was, like I said, I was really I was never a popular kid. I never had a lot of friends. I was bullied in high school. And when I got to camp, because of my jump shot, the first day I saw these kids, like I told this in the video, but I saw these kids and I'm like, oh God, these are the cool kids. These are the ones who are going to make my summer miserable. And we had a pickup game the first afternoon and I was on and I just made like every shot. And then these two cool kids came over to me. They wanted to be my friend and they were both basketball players. Or one of them was a basketball player. And, he ended up being the point guard on the camp team. And they wanted to be my friend, and they invited me to, take my day off with them. We were in the oldest age group. Thank you, Weber. Thank you also for the follow. And we were camper waiters, so we'd serve tables at the dining hall 3 times a day, and that reduced the camp tuition that the waiters would pay. And then we had a day off every week, and they invited me to take my day off with them because they thought. They want to be friends with the guy with the great basketball player with the great jump shot. Thing is, I was never good at dribbling. And I was so, I loved shooting. And I never really practiced dribbling enough to be really any good at it. So that was kind of my basketball downfall. And when I was younger, I was tall. But then I stopped growing. In ninth grade, I stopped growing. So by 10th grade, I wasn't that tall anymore. And then, I was on the JV team, and suddenly I'm trying to shoot over guys who are 6'4". You don't like me yapping? Some people like me yapping. I never know how much to yap and how much because people like the stories, and I like to tell stories. So my favorite basketball player when I was a kid was Cazzie Russell, for some reason. You love me yapping, good. And I don't know if you saw the video. This thing has 10,000 views already. But when I was I might have had the wrong year. Might have been 12 years old. I got to play a game at Madison Square Garden in front of a sellout crowd. And because the owner of my camp was friends with the New York Knicks organization, their son had been drafted by the Knicks. He never had to play for them, but they got to know the organization, and they invited us to do our camp reunion at Madison Square Garden. And my age group, they picked us to play a game against another camp at Madison Square Garden. So, I used to watch the Knicks, and actually they had 3 of the Knicks players. I probably have a picture of this somewhere. That came to visit the camp the summer before that. And I got my picture taken it was Willis Reed, Mike Reardon, and I'm not sure who the third one was. Maybe, I don't know, Dave Stallworth, maybe, I don't know. But man, the Knicks were great back then. Okay, I want to do another song. I'm going to do another song to make Andrew. I hope this makes him happy. But the question is, which song should I do? Okay, well, my fingers just told me which song I'm going to do. My fingers just started playing one of my songs, so I'm going to play that one. Yeah, and I have my picture, and I was like, I was like 12 years old, and I'm sitting, and I'm standing next to Willis Reed, who's 6'10", and I don't know any gangster rap, and I couldn't play it on the guitar if I did. Okay, so I'm going to do a song, and then I'll yap some more. I really like this. This is fun, and I never met my grandpa on my mother's side. He abandoned her when she was only 5. My parents treated marriage like a civil war. I feel as if I'm broken at the core. Well, I hope you're wrong. No matter what you see in me today. Well, I hope you're right that I have at least 5 years left. Knowing where I came from, I'm afraid you're throwing good love after bad blood. You don't need this kind of pain. You're throwing good love after bad blood. Got heartache flowing through my veins. There's nothing in this world like waking in your arms. But I'm hardwired for a fight or flight response. In my clan, feelings matter not at all. It's second nature for me to build walls. Talking about the future makes me scared. I'm only telling you because I care. You're throwing good love after bad blood. You don't need this kind of pain. You're throwing good love after bad blood. Got heartache flowing through my veins. If I could change, you'd be worth changing for. I wanna try, but you gotta be warned. You're throwing good love after bad blood. You don't need this kind of pain. You're throwing good love after bad blood. Got heartache flowing through my veins. You're throwing good love after bad blood. Got heartache flowing through my veins. Got heartache in my veins. You know what? I don't know that song. I won't back down. I do mostly originals. Something calming, like a slow ballad, like a love song. I can do okay. I hesitate to do this song because this is the only song I do with finger style. So I do own an electric guitar and I use it on my recordings. It's not a very good guitar though. But it doesn't stay well. It's like the intonation is bad. So like if I play an E on an open string, and I tune it, and it's an E, and if I play the same note on the 12th fret, which is supposed to be an octave higher, it's not an E. It's flat or sharp or something. So, oh, thank you. So I'm going to do this song. Actually, this song, well, I don't know. It's still possible that this song could become famous because I once got a meeting with an A&R executive at Warner Brothers Nashville, and they say if you get this meeting, the most they'll let you play is 3 songs. Maybe you can only play 1. But anyway, she said play as many as you want. Okay, so I played 10 songs, and after a bunch of them usually they just say pass. And a couple of times she said, oh, that's a good song, but I don't have an artist for it. And then when I played this one, she says, I'll take a copy of that. So then I said, okay, that's it. Let's go. We're done. So anyway. Every night before I go to sleep, after thanking God for you and me, I pray to Him my soul to keep, just in case I don't make it through. I'll never know when it's my time, till I'm at the finish line. There won't be much I leave behind, and that's fine as long as you remember me when I've moved beyond this world. Your thoughts can be my mark upon this earth. You won't find me in the history books. I've got much higher hopes. Remember me as the one who loved you most. I haven't ushered in world peace. I probably never cured disease. All I've done is try to be the one you build your world around. 'Cause girl, I know that loving you is what the good Lord put me here to do. And if I needed to for you, I would lay my own life down. So remember me when I've moved beyond this world. Your thoughts can be my mark upon this earth. You won't find me in the history books. I've got much higher hopes. Remember me as the one who loved you most. If I could teach you, keep you warm and safe, put a smile on your face, walk through the years hand in hand, then when I'm dead and gone, write it on my stone, here lies a happy man. Remember me when I've moved beyond this world. Your thoughts can be my mark upon this earth. You won't find me in the history books. I've got much higher hopes. Remember me as the one who loved you most. Remember me as as the one who loved you most. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Lillian, for the follow. Sophia for the follow. Hi, Lucas. Spider, are you Christian? Somebody asked me that last time. Was that you? I wonder why you're asking me that. Why are you asking me my religion? I'm wondering. It's not that it's a secret, but I'm just wondering why you would like to know that. So Ben, I don't know if you're still here, but I hope that was calming enough, and I hope you can now go to sleep. Let me see. Thank you. Thank you. Austin, did you hear the one I posted? Have you heard the one I posted tonight yet? About the tennis team? Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Ben. Thank you. You know, I'm telling all these stories about like playing sports. Oh, well, you have to watch it after we're done here. It's weird, you know, I was like, I grew up, I was a nerd kind of, but I liked sports. I really liked sports, and I was really bad at them when I was a kid, except I was always a fast runner. I was always proud of that. And one by one, I became good at all these different sports. And I wasn't like great at, well, I mean, I was great at certain aspects. Like I was a great shooter in basketball. I couldn't dribble. For a while, I was a really great hitter in softball, but I wasn't great in the field. And then I learned to play tennis. I wasn't really that good at tennis, but I was good enough to, I don't want to give away the story. And then there was another sport I became good at later, but I'm not going to say it because I have a story to tell about it coming up sometime in the near future. But actually, the one I haven't mentioned yet is probably the one I was best at. I ended up becoming best at. But I don't know. So sports were a really big part of my life when I was a kid. How many sports did I play? Well, you know, when I was at summer camp, I used to, and even in grade school, and, you know, I used to love softball. It was my favorite sport, and I loved it. I was bad at it for a long time, and I suddenly became really good at it. And then I got to, and I played Little League Baseball one year. And I made the Little League All-Star team. And then I got to high school, and I tried out for the freshman baseball team, and I made it. But I don't know, I forgot how to hit. And also, I guess maybe I was afraid of the ball or something, but I was bad in baseball. But I also tried out for the basketball team, and I made that, and I played it for 2 years. And then after I quit the basketball team, I needed another sport. So this is the topic of my video. My brother told me to try out for the tennis team. And we used to have tennis at summer camp. And I hated it, and I wasn't good at it. Like, try out for the tennis team, come on. But he convinced me to try out for it, so I did. And, well, you have to watch the video, because I don't want to give away what happened. So I don't really have any hobbies these days. I used to play poker. For a while, I started playing poker, and I was playing the micro stakes on the online poker apps. And I was actually doing really well. I started buying poker books. I was doing really, really well, and then all of a sudden I kind of forgot how to play, and I started losing, and I cashed out before I lost all my gains. And I'm tempted to go back, but you know, I have since I got long COVID over a year ago, I don't have that much time. I guess my hobby is politics, and you know, I have some political songs. I have this one that I wrote recently. I don't have music for it, but I'm afraid to play it because I'm afraid, like so many crazy people out there, if I played the song, that, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm afraid for my safety if I played this latest thing I wrote. But I do spend a lot of time reading news and following politics. And other than that, just music. Well, I will say that, how can I put this without, well, I don't know. You know, I should just say what I am, because like everybody knows what Taylor Swift is, right? She's left, isn't she? Well, me and Taylor would probably get along if we knew each other. Let's just say that. So I'm going to play. Okay, now I probably should end this live because I don't want to get my. I mean, this is longer than I probably should go because. No, you know what? I am going to end the live because. Yeah, I guess if I talk about my politics, I know some people hate me, and then some people will probably like me more. But I don't know. I'm just afraid these days because people are so crazy. I was going to play this song called "Follow the Money," but I don't. If I overexert with this chronic fatigue, just my symptoms get worse, and the problem is. It's called post-exertional malaise, which means it happens after the exertion. So you don't know until it's too late that you've overdone it. But go to my Spotify or whatever, or my website. Go to my website, SethHillaryJackson.com. You can hear all my recorded songs there. You can also sign up for my mailing list. And, I don't spam you. I hardly ever send out any updates. But you can do all kinds of cool things. You can see pictures and read about me and read my bio. And I actually have merch on the website you can buy, and I'm also on Spotify and YouTube and all that. So I hope you will go check it out, and you can hear my song "Follow the Money," which is a political song. You're back again. I don't know what you're doing here if you don't like what's going on, but I really appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you. This is really fun, and I really enjoy playing for you, and I like chatting with you, and I love I love telling my stories. So we'll have to do this again soon. All right. Thank you, everybody, and thanks for the likes and the shares and the gifts and the follows and everything. I really appreciate it.